Here's what's happening now. It looks like our spookiest temperatures got taken away with Halloween. Are you ready for some 60s and some rain? Karen?
Also, first at 4, witnesses thought this photo showed a stranger danger situation. We'll tell you what was really going on and what you should do if you ever see something that makes you concerned.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we have breaking news involving a shooting at a daycare in Dearborn. 2 people have now been charged. The shooting happened on the 3600 block of Harding Street back in September. 2 3-year-olds were injured. Luckily, they both survived. Now, Timothy Eubanks and his wife Samantha both face several charges, including second-degree child abuse and 2 counts of felony firearms violations. We're just learning about those charges now. We'll have a live report at 5. Both suspects will be in court tomorrow. Now, let's get to the newest information on that deadly truck attack that stunned the nation yesterday. It has been just 25 hours since terror revisited the city of New York. This time, one man behind the wheel of a truck plowing down a bike path, leaving 8 people dead. A note inside the truck saying, "ISIS lives forever." Here's a new photo of the suspect on the ground after being shot by police. He did survive. He remains hospitalized. Senior officials say he's showing no remorse and is even boasting about the attack. A massive investigation is now underway. Authorities are trying to learn everything they can about the suspect, and they do believe he acted alone. Local 4's Omar Jimenez is in New York City this afternoon tracking the investigation.
This was the actions of a depraved coward.
Investigators say the suspect in the New York terror attack planned his deadly ride for a number of weeks and was inspired online by ISIS.
He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels before.
Police say he used a rented truck to plow into people on a bike path. He crashed into a school bus before being shot in the stomach by an NYPD officer and taken into custody.
I started walking in that direction to see what's going on, and I just see all types of police, firefighters, EMS just rushing to that area. 5 of the people killed were from Argentina, celebrating their 30th high school reunion. Another victim was from Belgium.
It was the definition of terrorism, an effort to take away people's hope and spirit and to make them change.
This is the deadliest terror attack in New York since 9/11, and it ended in the shadow of the World Trade Center.
My message to all New Yorkers is do what you do best. Be New Yorkers. Be strong, be proud, be resilient. Show the whole world right now that we will not be moved by terror.
In New York, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Now here's a quick recap of the key facts in this investigation. 8 people are dead in the truck attack. Investigators are questioning the suspect in his hospital bed. Right now, investigators believe he was acting alone. Police are also beefing up security for the New York City Marathon. That's going on this weekend, so they're bringing in sand trucks, barricades, and sniper teams. President Trump says all of America is praying and grieving with the victims. Stay right here for continuing coverage of the attack, including team coverage from NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt at 6:30. Closer to home, a community is left on edge after an attempted abduction. It happened shortly before 9 this morning on Redmond near Lapin on Detroit's east side. A 13-year-old girl and her 10-year-old brother were simply walking to school when the girl was grabbed. Listen as the girl describes the terrifying ordeal to Local 4's Sean Lay.
When I was walking to school, a man grabbed me by my jacket and pulled me. I was right there, and he pulled me by my jacket and put a gun up to my head, and he said, "Don't move." And I hurried up, and I told my brother to run, and he ran. He dropped his book bag, and when I was able to let go, I ran as fast as I could to the school.
We will have more on the investigation and from Sean's interview with that teenager on Local 4 News tonight at 5. We do have some tragic news out of Inkster. That's where a man believed to be in his 40s was found shot to death next to his car in his very own driveway. These are pictures from the scene along Parkwood Street near the corner of Eastern. We have no other details at this time, but have learned state police are leading this investigation. Moving to Detroit's west side, where the search is on for a murder suspect. The victim was found inside a parked Honda early this morning with multiple gunshot wounds. and the car also had bullet holes in it. It happened on Lodge Service Drive and 8 Mile Road. The victim is an African-American man in his 20s or maybe early 30s. He was pronounced dead on the way to the hospital. If you have any information, contact Detroit Police. Score a big victory for the Angels when it comes to stopping fires in the city of Detroit during Halloween. Mayor Duggan says the Angels Night Volunteer Program has been so successful, it's being retired. The city says 2017 recorded the second lowest number of fires with just 54 over the past few days. That is down from more than 800 fires back in 1984. Going forward, the Angels Night Patrol campaign will turn into a 3-day community celebration. The mayor says from now on, Halloween in Detroit won't be about fear, it will be about fun. Well, we did survive a chilly Halloween, so what's coming our way tonight? Ben Bailey has our first forecast. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, it looks a lot like yesterday. We've got the clouds out there. We don't have any rain so far, but that is about to change. Winds having a little bit of an effect on how it feels. 38 the wind chill there at Metro, and the air temperature's 43. These numbers are getting close to what we are going to see for low temperatures tonight. We've got some warmer air that's headed in our direction, but it is going to be very wet. Multiple chances of rain. We'll talk about that. Could be seeing a thunderstorm in that 7-day forecast by the weekend. We'll pinpoint the time, and it looks like we're going to see another cool down next week. Is it going to be as chilly as what we went through earlier this week? We'll check that out in just a few minutes. Karen.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Earlier, we told you about a frightening attempted abduction that left a Detroit teenager terrified. Well, yesterday, we had a very different situation going on in Southfield. Do you remember this photo? We showed it to you at First at 4. Witnesses feared the girl was being abducted. I'll try to bring that photo to you. I'm sorry that we don't have it. But they said in that situation, that young girl even screamed, "Stranger danger." In this case, the man in the photograph is her dad. But it leaves you wondering, what do you do if you see something that looks strange? Should you get involved? Let's bring in Paula Tutman. She spent the day talking with police and authorities, and we also hear from the girl's father.
Yeah, we do. First of all, I just want to say that we've been in this plaza near 12 Mile all day. And, you know, people are saying, hey, what happened to that little girl? Is she okay? I have to tell you, we also had a lot of social media with people saying, why didn't anybody do anything? How come nobody did anything? And that simply wasn't the case. And police say, in fact, the public did quite a bit.
Here's the image released by police yesterday. A man tightly grasping the wrist of a little girl. The little girl claimed she was being abducted. A woman heard her.
She heard the little girl say the phrase, "stranger danger," several times. And as the man and the little girl passed the witness heard the little girl say, "How do you know my daddy?"
And I was explaining to her, you can't say that, that's wrong. That means a lot of stuff.
She was with her father, throwing a temper tantrum. The dad spoke to us by phone last night.
She wanted to get a hat that I wasn't going to buy. I didn't get her the hat, so she was getting an attitude, and I was like, come on, we got to go.
Chief Eric Hawkins of the Southfield Police Department says if it hadn't been for the fast actions of an alert public, people who saw something and said something, this would not have had such a lightning-fast resolution.
We immediately received tons of tips and information from the public.
But what would you do if you saw a child seemingly calling for help?
I wouldn't just let it go and not proceed to try to help her in no type of way, because if I had kids and something like that was happening, I would want someone to do something.
Chief Hawkins says while you might be tempted to step in physically,
be very, very careful about physically intervening in a situation like that, because a person can go from a witness to a victim.
One witness actually went above and beyond.
And this conscientious witness then got into her car and followed the man and the little girl out of the parking lot. She called 911, and she provided the police dispatcher with the vehicle description, partial plate, as well as the last known direction.
Have a cell phone ready. Call 911 first to get police moving, and then shoot photographs, video, or even a sound recording. Ask others for help. Yell, let that person know you see them and are calling for help.
Little girl, are you okay? Sir, is everything okay? And then see what the reaction is.
You know, there really is a lot to unpack here, Karen, because obviously the parents had done a good job in teaching this little girl what stranger danger is. She simply misused it because she was angry with her father. Now, we did blur his face and we didn't use his name. He called her Evrod Cassimy last night, but he didn't do anything wrong. And so what we didn't want to do is we didn't want him to get harassing phone calls or anything like that. But this is what this really does prove. If you see something, you say something. If you're wrong, it's better to be wrong and safe. I can tell you this, Karen, according to police, that little girl did not go trick-or-treating last night, and I believe she's had a stern talking to.
Oh, I bet she definitely had some talking to last night, that's for sure. All right, thank you, Paula, and thank you for the advice as well. Still ahead, first at 4, healthcare confusion. Many of you are facing an important deadline. We will tell you where to find some free help if you have insurance questions. Also, this one giant-sized rescue. How do you rescue an elephant stuck in a well? The answer ahead. And a poisonous plot gone wrong. Police say an unhappy wife tried to kill her husband, but sent many others to the hospital instead. Several died. That story ahead.
Exclusive. Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
It was a simple pizza delivery heist at the start, but by the time it was over and the police chase was done, 2 teenagers are facing the possibility of life in prison. We'll have details coming up on Local 4 News at 6.
In this Help Me Hang Consumer Alert, we have a reminder that open enrollment starts today for people who buy insurance through the Affordable Care Act. With the healthcare battles in Washington, many people are confused, but you can get free assistance. For example, the University of Michigan has set up a hotline to answer your questions. You can call between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. counselors say recent changes may not affect you as much as you think. Enrollment at healthcare.gov runs through today. I should say runs from today through December 15th. We've also posted a link to that free assistance on the health page of clickondetroit.com. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines all around the world. We start in Pakistan, where police say a woman tried to murder her husband, but accidentally killed 17 other people instead. The newly married woman faces murder charges after she allegedly poisoned her husband's milk. He didn't drink it, but his mother used that tainted milk to make a yogurt-based dish for several relatives. The newlywed says she was forced into her marriage and her parents would not let her get a divorce. Moving to Sri Lanka, it took wildlife workers 3 days to help this elephant trapped in a well, and it was a very difficult job. Villagers say they had to use an excavator to cut a path from the well so the elephant was able to climb out. Due to a drought and new development, more and more elephants are roaming into residential areas. The rescuers lit firecrackers to scare the animal back into the jungle. The next Olympic Games are just 100 days away, and take a look at this. The Olympic flame arriving in South Korea late yesterday. It was officially lit back in Greece, traveled around that country for more than a week, and then flew to South Korea. The torch is now on a 100-day journey across South Korea. The relay will involve 7,500 torch bearers and visit 17 cities and provinces. It all leads up to the opening ceremony on February 9th. Remember, NBC and Local 4 are your official home for the 2018 Games. And Ben is back. A pretty nice day out there, considering, I guess.
Yes. Did you recover from Halloween?
It was very busy in our neighborhood last night. And you know what? The chilly temps didn't seem to bug those kids at all.
Nothing.
They kept going. They kept going.
But yeah, we do have some showers possibly moving in tonight, so it looks like Mother Nature timed that right. You can see already some radar returns that are showing up here in southwest Michigan, but you start looking at the ground reports and it's still dry here. Coldwater, South Bend, South Haven, Kalamazoo even reporting a couple breaks in the clouds with mostly cloudy skies there. So a lot of this stuff is still in the mid-levels, not really making it to the ground just yet. We've got some pretty dry air at the surface, but the temperature is 43 right now at Metro Airport, 40 in Pontiac and Lapeer, and these are getting close to what we're going to see for overnight lows, probably a few more hours, and then those numbers start heading upward as we go through the nighttime hours. So here's the rain timing. As we get closer to about 7 o'clock, we'll start seeing a couple rogue drops start to make their way in here, but notice that the widespread stuff is going to arrive probably by 9, 10 o'clock tonight, and then once it starts raining, it looks like it is going to continue through about daybreak tomorrow morning. Things do taper off a little bit for the morning commute. It's going to be tough to rule out a drop really at any time during the day on Thursday, but the next big push of water shows up on Thursday evening, just about the same time as what we were expecting tonight. And you can see once that's on top of us, it's going to be a little bit more scattered, but still pretty persistent on through the early parts of Friday. Once that cold front comes through, the cold air really works its way around. So Friday, we may have an early high temperature in the 50s and then see those numbers fall as we get towards the second half of the day. So 50 tonight, that's what we're going to see for a morning temperature. Remember, we're going to set those lows within the next few hours here and see those temperatures rise in the morning. So our 4-zone forecast breaks down those 8 a.m. temperatures tomorrow morning. We're looking at around 50 degrees in the city, a couple upper 40s here as you head towards M59. South zone numbers, though, with that warm front moving north, you're going to be in the mid and even upper 50s in a couple spots. Lambertville waking up to 58 tomorrow morning. West zone temperatures, you can see how that cooler air is still holding on here in the northern section of that zone. 48 in Howell, 47 in Fenton and Clarkston seeing that same number. And north zone looks like you're going to be the cooler ones tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. numbers, mid 40s here in Sanilac County, ranging to the upper 40s as you get closer to M59. So high temperatures hitting 62 tomorrow afternoon. How about that? I just wish we had some sunshine to go along with it. Unfortunately, it's going to be another dreary day with cloudy conditions. And again, tough to rule out a shower really at any point during the day, although most of that rain is going to fall outside of the daylight hours tomorrow. Temperatures cool down on Friday with that early high of 53. Weekend looks pretty average to start with that 54-degree temperature. We do skate up to 64 on Sunday, and we could have a thunderstorm with that rain chance there on Sunday night, so we'll be watching that. And don't forget, set your clocks back before you head to bed. We get an hour extra to sleep this weekend, Karen.
Or the kids get up an hour earlier, really, Ben. That's what happens. As it gets colder outside, remember, some people need help staying warm. And that's why Local 4 is hosting a telethon tomorrow all day long. We're going to start early at 5 a.m. and go all the way to 6:30 in the evening. It benefits the Heat and Warmth Fund. It's sponsored by DTE Energy to offer utility assistance to those in need. We really hope that you'll join us and help us give the gift of warmth. Again, that is tomorrow. Still ahead, popular plastic surgeries. Can you guess which procedure is the most Googled in the state of Michigan? The answer, I think, is going to surprise you. Also, Starbucks, ready for the holidays. Can you tell what's different about this year's holiday cups? It could be fun for the whole family. All right, let's talk trending stories. We're talking about plastic surgery. A new report finds which procedures people Google the most and breaks them down state by state. So there are some surprises. First, even though breast augmentation was the most popular surgery last year, it was only the most searched item in Kansas. Butt implants were the #1 item in the South and Midwest, including here in Michigan.
Yikes.
Apparently people like big butts. While states with the worst winters like North Dakota, Maine, and Idaho are looking at anti-aging procedures. Surprised me. I have no idea. All right, if you're like Walmart, and if you are Walmart, I should say, how do you compete with online shopping this holiday season? How about having a party, or maybe a few thousand parties? Walmart is launching a new party plan to bring people into its stores across the country during the holidays. The first events are this coming Saturday, and more will be held on December 2nd and 16th. So look for lots of different things like toy demonstrations, visit from Santa, plus special sales and exclusive gifts. Now, speaking of the holidays, take a look at this. We're getting our first peek at the Starbucks Holiday Cup revealed today, and this year's model comes with a twist. Take a close look. For the first time ever, the cups are not red. Instead, they come with holiday drawings in white, and then you can use crayons or markers to fill in those drawings with any color you like. And the sleeve for hot drinks reads, "Give good," to celebrate all the good people and good things in your community. I would say I love this idea, Ben. You've got an example.
I've been practicing my Vanna White all afternoon. And in the sleeve, yeah, you can color the whole thing.
I like it. It's very for parents, you know, you want to entertain your kids.
And if you
obviously you don't want it filled with hot coffee while they're coloring.
That's true.
That's true. Them when you're
but
on
it's
a road
red
trip.
and green if you don't color it. So
See?
How about that?
Very cute. Also, still ahead, a new attraction that is not for anyone who's afraid of heights. But wait, there's more. The creators really turned up the fear factor on this one. We'll explain.
It's easy to say.
Finally, first at 4, a new skywalk in China may win the award for scariest tourist attraction in the world.
I had a heart attack just reading this script. You can see the glass skywalk is attached to the side of a mountain, and it's 3,800 feet in the air. Now, if that isn't terrifying enough, A special effect makes the glass look like it is cracking underneath your feet.
There's even sound effects so you can hear that glass shattering. For those daring enough to try it, the reward is a breathtaking view of the surrounding mountains.
Keep your eyes up, don't look down, you'll be fine.
It would be very nerve-wracking. Thanks so much for joining us for First at 4. We are back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5. Inside Edition is next. Have a great afternoon.